These are die-cast metal banks made by Liberty, or sold by Liberty. And these are part of a hobby lot collection that I bought. They don't sell for very much. I put all these 6 of them up for sale for $40 last fall, and finally got a best offer of $30 for them. And they're going to Switzerland. I found this hat in a box from an auction. I didn't know anything about it, and couldn't find much on it. It says chegg.com. It's got this weird thing on the front, and I thought, well, maybe there's some hip, cool thing I don't know anything about. Let's put it up for sale for 12 bucks. And about 6 months later, it finally sold. This is a headlight bezel, or surround, for a 1974 to 78 Mustang II. People are restoring these cars, and springtime's coming, so hopefully a lot of these parts I have up for sale will start to sell. This sold for $30. A pair of HO gauge locomotives sold. These are almost matching. One's a number 16, one's a CPW number 15. And not by coincidence, bought by the same gentleman for $50 a piece. A couple more of these vintage automobile trash bags put out by the American Legion. I've been selling these one at a time. This is the first time somebody has bought 2. And they go for $5 a piece. This is the bottom panel off a Marantz amplifier. The amplifier is a model 252B, which is a very popular amp. The amp itself probably would go for $400 or $500. And the one that this came off of, I took a chance on. I think I bought it for $50, and it really didn't work. So been selling the parts, and have probably made over $500 on just the parts. And I wasn't sure about listing this because I just couldn't imagine somebody needing a bottom panel. Why would one of those go bad? But apparently somebody must have one that sat in water and got rusted or something. And this sold for $20. This is just an empty reel-to-reel tape reel, take-up reel. It's a small one. It's only 5.5 inches. But this still sold for $13 all by itself. The model cars haven't been selling as much this early winter or late winter season. But so I took a $40 offer on this Mustang II promo car. I had been getting $60 for them, but this one I've had up for sale since late last summer, so it's time to let it go. Back in late 2013, while starting eBay down in Mesa, Arizona, I was a member of some thrifting club, or whatever you want to call it, on Facebook, and they always talked about cross-stitch kits and how people were making good money. And so I looked for them, and actually sold a couple of rare ones for close to $100. But I stopped looking for them, and I actually lost about 4 or 5 cross-stitch kits a couple of houses ago, and found them during the latest move, which is a good thing because I never took the items down from eBay. And finally another one of them sold. This is a cross-stitch. It says welcome to our home. It's an open kit, and I just listed what was in it, and it sold for $15. This is another part off a Marantz amplifier. This is a very small amplifier. It's a 2216 model, which is, I guess, still highly regarded. Marantz's model numbers have the wattage output as part of their model number, so this was 16 watts per channel, not too much. This is the dial indicator for the tuner, and whenever I part something out and it's hooked to other things, I wonder, are they going to want those other things, or should they be separated? Well, this has the dial string kind of integrated into it, so I left that on there. And then the wiring was integrated with this little post. So it all went together, and it sold for $25. This is a B&K Components power amplifier. It's mono, so you need more than one if you want to listen to stereo equipment. A lot of people just like mono. one speaker, one input. And so this one just sold by itself. I bought 5 of these for $200. I've already sold a pair, and they just arrived via GPS. I haven't heard back from the guy yet, but they're pretty basic. No controls on it. It's just the power amp. You need a preamp to adjust volume and tone for these things. And these are very highly regarded, made in the USA, and it sold for $250. I picked up this Easy Bake Oven probably over a year ago, but it languished in the unlisted pile until just before Christmas. I decided to put it up, and it took until now to sell. And this is an early 70s model. They originally came out in the early 60s, but I think this one is desirable because it's red. Also, it came with the accessories and instructions for all your incandescent baking needs. And so I'll pack this up, put it in the box, and then put it in another box. Whenever you sell things with the original box, it's nice to put it in a secondary box, especially when it's a flimsy box like this, and also people like the original boxes to be unmarked. Again, this sold for $100. Hello from a motel in Longmont, Colorado. I made a quick trip down here to pick up some delicate stereo gear. Going to do some shopping in the hinterlands of Nebraska on my way back, but thought I'd continue with what sold over my iPad. This is a Minneapolis Star Journal edition from 1945, featuring the swearing in of Harry S. Truman after President Roosevelt had passed on, and this sold for $13. This is a military style flashlight. It's got a couple of lenses in it, and this came in a lot box from the auction probably last spring, so I've had it up for quite a while, but it finally sold for full price, $30. This is a Sony 8-channel mixing board. I've had this for quite a while, but it hasn't been up for sale for very long. I kept thinking I was going to use it in some home recording. I got it along with a couple of reel-to-reel decks a couple of years ago. I finally put it up for sale for $500 and got an offer of $420 and took that right away. Very nice unit, clean, and working. Made a little video with it. Again, that sold for $420. This is a C.C. Filson flannel shirt. Nothing real special about it. It's not even made in America. This one was made in, I believe, Taiwan. And, or India, actually. It's a good size, extra large. And this sold for $50. I found this at our local St. Vincent's. And right away I knew it was something of interest. It had a number of earmarks. I didn't know what it was at first, but it came in the original box with the instructions. It didn't look used. And it's a IBM Banks Pocket Braille Writer. As you can see, it came with rolls of paper. Doesn't look like it had been used at all. They actually gave these away back in the, I think, the 40s or 50s. And this is a Model 6. And it sold for $200. It only cost $2 at the St. Vincent. Hey, ready?